What's up, you? I'm just going to make this short and sweet. If you click on this video, you're wondering why I'm on Darkknight and why I'm ranting about Darkknight. There's probably Xenosys, other people have made videos about Darkknight. But I'm just going to tell you straight away why Darkknight is the least played spec, or least played tank job in Final Fantasy XIV. Get ready. It's boring as fuck. It's just literally it's boring. It's branded. It's trash. It's just so dumb. This is coming from a new Final Fantasy player that I've just really started playing with in Dawntrail. I've leveled Paladin, I've leveled Warrior, I've leveled Gunbreaker through dungeons, through fates, and now I'm Darkknight. I'm leveling at last because I've enjoyed these previously. And while leveling Darkknight in dungeons and fates, man, it is boring. It's hard to play. It's actually very hard to play. And I think for me personally, that is why Darkknight is the worst tank currently in Final Fantasy. It does the most damage, not by a lot, but it's just so boring. It's just so boring. So what do you think? Leave a like, comment, and all that down below. If you enjoyed that part of the content, thank you. Thank you so much. Now, for the second half, I'm actually going to rant about why Darkknight is so boring. Why Darkknight is terrible to play. Why Darkknight is just the worst tank in Final Fantasy. So here is the rant. The rant is every job has a 2-minute, like most jobs have a 2-minute cooldown, which is super busy if you've seen my other videos, and a 1-minute cooldown. I think like some melee jobs have a 1-minute cooldown, which is sort of busy. Generally tanks on a 1-minute cooldown, and you just have like a cooldown that you get extra damage, like you get percentage damage increase, and you just get extra buttons. Before I talk about Darkknight, I actually want to talk about the other tanks. Let's talk about Warrior. Warrior's cooldown. Inner release. When you press this, you can press fill cleave 3 times. After you fill cleave 3 times, you can inner release changes to another button, which you can press. But also, when you press inner release, you have a thing called Primal Rend down over here. This is just my button here, Primal Rend. When you use Primal Rend changes to another button. Seeing what's happening. And then you have a 30-second OGCD cooldown, which you can just use off cooldown. And then you have your charge ability, which you can press. So, usually what a Warrior thing is you press your 1, 2, and then your Storm Eye to keep this buff up, which gives you extra damage, 10% increased extra damage. This is like Darkknight. You press a button and you get 10%. So what you do is you just always want to keep this buff up. In a Warrior, every 1 minute you get it. Look, you press inner release, then you can press your fell cleave, and then you can press your upheaval, then you can press fell cleave, then you can press onslaught, and you can press fell cleave, then you can press onslaught. Then after 3 fell cleaves, you get Primal Wrath. Do a big damage. Also, you get your Primal Rend. Once you press Primal Rend, does another damage. Then it changes to Primal Ruination. Primal Ruination does huge damage. You get to do that every 1 minute. And during those 1 minutes, you get Infuriate. You get to press a button. When you press your button, your fell cleave, you get 50 gauge into... You get 50 gauge and you can press your fell cleave. Sounds busy, right? Very good. Paladin. Paladin, you get Fight or Flight. Fight or Flight, you press your button on a minute cooldown, you gain 25% extra damage, and it changes into Goring Blade. You're seeing what's happening. Press your damage, you get another damage button. When you press your Fight or Flight, you have a 30-second cooldown of Circle of Scorn, which you can press. You also have another 30-second button that's Expatian, which you get to press in between. These are off global cooldowns. So what you can do is Oh, sorry, before I do that. And then once you press your fight or flight, it changes to Goring Blade, which then you can press Imperator, English bad, you get to press Imperator, which then you get to cast four of these big swords. So, DPS would be like, special cooldown, fight or flight, into Circle of Storm, which is OGCD cooldown, into your Goring Blade, Imperator, and then you can press your big swords. And during these big swords, you can press your OGCD cooldown, which is on a 30-second cooldown, and a charge, and you get to press all these huge buttons. That's every 1 minute. Every 30 seconds, you get to press Circle of Scorn, and every 30 seconds, you get to press Expansion, whatever. Lots of buttons to press, 30-second cooldowns, and a 1 minute cooldown. 30-second cooldown, 1 minute cooldown. Seeming super fun. Let's go to Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker, you have No Mercy. So when you press No Mercy, let me just do here. When you press No Mercy, it changes to Sonic Break. So you press your damage button, and then you get another button to press. So when you press your damage button and you press your Sonic Break, it puts a dot up. You have Bow Shock, which is on a minute cooldown, which lines up with your No Mercy. So you get to press No Mercy into Bow Shock, into the dot button, which is Sonic Break. In between that, you have a 30-second off global cooldown, which is Blasting Zone, which you can press every 30 seconds. Every 2 minutes, you can press Bloodfest. This is your bigger damage cooldown. It gives you 3 battery charges. You press Bloodfest. Bloodfest changes into Rain of Beast, so your huge damage button changes into Rain of Beast, into Noble Blood, into Lionheart. Every 1 minute, you have a button that says press Double Down, which is just another big damage button every 1 minute. Every 30 seconds, again, you get your Blasting Zone, and every 30 seconds, you get your Gnashing Fang combo, which you press Gnashing Fang into Jugular Rip, Savage Claw, Dominant Tear, Wicked Talon, into Eye Gouge. Oh. That, like every 30 seconds, every 1 minute, you have buttons to press. Alright. Now, let's go to Darkknight. This is the huge rant. The huge rant. And why no one plays Darkknight. Your 2 minute cooldown. So remember, Gunbreaker, 2 minute cooldown, you press Bloodfest, change to Rain of Beasts. It changed to Rain of Beasts, Noble Blood, Lionheart. I think it's this combo here. So you press this and you get 3 buttons. Darkknight. We're charging up. We run in. We press Living Shadow. We don't get another button. We don't get another button. Living Shadow just does what the fuck ever it wants. There's nothing that you do. You literally do nothing. It just does damage. There's no interaction. Okay, 1 minute cooldown. We're pressing Delirium. 1 minute cooldown. We get 3 charges. 3 charge of Blood Weapon. And we go Scarlet Delirium to Comeuppance into Torch Cleaver. Like Warrior, if you spend 3 charge, Delirium changes and you can press another button. That didn't happen. And also, when you press your 1 minute cooldown, you get an extra button somewhere. You don't get anything. I think that could probably change. Does this change at level 100? I'm not level 100 yet. Okay, it changes at level 100. Okay, so level 100 you can press your Living Shadow and your Disesteem. Okay, the level 100 it changes. Okay, that's still fine. You get an extra button. That's perfectly fine. So your 2 minute cooldown, you can press it 1, you press it, and you press it once. Your Gunbreaker, you press your 2-minute cooldown, you press it 3 times. Alright, another thing. Off global cooldown. You have off global cooldown, which is your damage button, it's carve and split. This is 60 seconds. So you go through your 1, 2, 3 combo, whoop-de-dee. You get to press carve and split. You gain some mana. 60 seconds. You have Oak, and then like with Warrior, you do your 1, 2, 3 combo to get your damage buff. But here, you press Dark Side on your off global cooldown. You press that twice, and then generally you don't have enough mana to do anything else, so you're going back into your 1, 2, 3 combo. And you're just going through your 1, 2, 3 combo. Salted Earth is another dog shit ability. You press Salted Earth, it does damage. And then you can press Salt and Darkness, which does more damage. On a 90-second cooldown. 90. Darkknight has no 30-second off global cooldown moves. Why? Why isn't there an ability which is 30 seconds like all the other tanks that you get to press? Also, you can't press Edge of Shadow off global cooldown because it costs 3,000 mana. 3,000 mana also, when you're doing dungeons, you need to use like the Blackest Night, TBN, because you need 25% of your maximum HP. Like, hello? There's there's no urgency on 1-minute cooldowns. There's no urgency on 2-minute cooldowns. We're going to switch to Gunbreaker. We're going, here's your 1 minute. Here's your 1 minute. Pressing this. And then you can press this. Off global cooldown. You press this. And you can do it like a charge if you want. You can do this. Into double down. Into your Gnashing Fang combo. Which is lots of buttons to press. Like, I get to press a lot of different buttons. Which is super fun. Super cool. And yes, all classes need, like, all jobs need an identity, right? Yeah, we're gonna run in. We don't have a run in. We're gonna hard slash into Edge of Shadow, so we get a little bit, and then we press Living Shadow. Then I'm assuming at level 100 you can press Living Shadow again. We press Carve and Spit off the global cooldown, and welcome. 1, 2, 3, 1. Oh, Delirium up. 1, 2, 3. Everything's off cooldown now. Yep, now we get to spam 1, 2, 3 for a whole minute. 1, 2, 3 for a whole minute. Oh, we have 50 gauge. Back to 1, 2, 3. That's it. That's my rant. Darkknight is boring. There's no urgency. There's no agency when you press your 1 minute cooldown or your 2 minute cooldown. There's just nothing that happens. That's all it is. Darkknight is boring. Give Darkknight agency. Give Darkknight buttons to press. When you press your Delirium, make Delirium give a charge of Carve and Split. Because Carve and Split on a 1 minute cooldown is so shit. Change this to 30 seconds. Change it to 40 seconds. Or, instead of that being 30 seconds, 60 seconds, when you press Delirium, you get 2 charges of Carve and Split. Or 2 charges of Carve and Split / Abyssal Drain. When you finish your 1, 2, 3 combo. When you finish your 1, 2, 3 combo, you get a charge of something. You get a charge to shoot Abyssal Drain out. I don't know. There just needs to be something else for Darkknight, and that's what is holding this job back. It is boring, there is nothing very exciting about it, and no one plays it.